It's Union level 50. Welcome to the endgame. If you're still playing WutheringWaves at this point, congratulations on your sunk cost fallacy. Here's everything that changes. The first character we're going to take a look at is Yinlin. We're going to compare the base stats and what exactly changes when you get her from 70 to 80. Currently, as you can see on screen, she has 1,683 attack, she has 1,130 defense, and about 13.5k HP. As you can see, we're gaining about 16 base attack, which is fine, and about 600 base HP, but this doesn't include the additional attack that you gain after you increase not only the base, but also to level 80 from level 70. As you can see here, the materials that you need are 12 of the Group Abomination Tacet cores, some Corioluses, and some Whispering cores, but really the only thing that you need to pay attention to is the 12 Group Abomination Tacet cores. And nice. Okay, so we have now about 1,700 attack, and after upgrading, we gain an additional 27 attack, 700-ish HP, and around 100 defense. Okay, so we're starting to hit that point where my Yinlin is fairly tanky. She's got 15,000 HP, about 1,750 attack, and 1,300 defense. This character is not that squishy, and I'm probably going to be able to eat 1 or 2 hits, even from one of the level 80 or maybe even level 90 bosses at this point. But let's take a look at what happens when we upgrade String Master, her weapon as well. Okay, now after upgrading String Master to level 80, you can see that I'm gaining about 26 attack, which is nice, but the most important thing here is going to be the crit rate. Interesting thing to note here is that you are going to need around 500,000 plus EXP to get from 70 to 80, so keep that in mind if you're pre-farming. But also be careful, because as you can see here, this is going to cost me 230,000 credits. These costs start to add up quickly, but at the end of it all, I do gain 34 attack and around 3% crit rate because I got it to level 80. My Yinlin now has 80 crit rate, but the first thing that we'll take a look at in terms of farming at Union level 50 is going to be this Dreamless Feather, which I'm going to have to farm out for if I want to upgrade and get the crit rate built into her stat line. Let's take a look. Okay, and now after getting beat up by a Dreamless, who's actually a little bit tougher than I thought at level 80, let's take a look at exactly what we get. 60 wave plates, we claim it. Ooh, we only got 2 Dreamless Feathers. This is already possible at what I was before with my previous level, but I do believe I should be able to get 3 Dreamless Feathers. That just goes to show you that even at Union level 50, although you do gain an increased chance to get something like 3, and I am obviously receiving the short end of the stick. I've got 2 Dreamless Feathers, even though I really wanted 3 so I could upgrade some of the other skills. It is what it is though. And now bada bing, bada boom, my Yinlin now has 85.7 crit rate, which is obviously not 100, right? Except that because we have this inherent skill, Pain Immersion, that gives us 15 crit rate for 5 seconds after using her Resonance skill, we do essentially have 100 crit rate on Yinlin now, which feels pretty good, so long as I'm using my E. Now enough about Yinlin though, because although I did pre-farm some of these characters earlier, what would happen if I wanted to farm out for Calcharo, or if I wanted to farm out a current character right now, and I had to fight an enemy like Thundering Mephis? How many Ascension materials do I get when it drops? Before we get into that though, I did also want to show you guys what we get at level 50 with the supply pack, and lo and behold, we have 400 premium tuners, 30 advanced sealed tubes, and 100,000 shell credits. Not the greatest thing in the world, but I do really appreciate the premium tuners and the advanced sealed tubes anyways. Compared to the 10 solvents we got beforehand, this is nice, but let's keep it going, Crow Games. Maybe next time we get sealed tubes and the solvents. Okay, enough stalling, let's fight Thundering Mephis. Okay, now after almost dying to virtually every boss that I've encountered today, because I guess I just suck, let's see how many Ascension materials you get if you're trying to farm out for Calcharo, or if you're trying to fight a boss in general. Okay, so this time around, as you can see, we actually gained access to 4 Tacet cores, which is really, really nice. Important thing to note is that I would have wanted to get more out of my weekly because, of course, there's only 3 redemptions that you can get out of it. And compared to that, getting 4 is nice here, but you can endlessly farm this all the time compared to Dreamless, where 3 times a week, I have anywhere between 2 to 3 material drops that I can get. It feels kind of bad. In any case though, 3 of the advanced resonance potions, 3 advanced cores, and 2 advanced sealed tubes. Not that big of a deal, but getting 4 of these Tacet cores is quite nice. Okay, but now we really have to talk about the biggest question mark when it comes to Union level 50, and that's how much better the skill EXP fields that you can farm out for things like the Andante Helix are actually going to be. It does take a lot to upgrade these things, and as you can see, it's 5 of these Andante Helixes, and each upgrade at this point costs a Dreamless feather. It is going to feel extremely, extremely bad to farm out these materials, but for the sake of seeing exactly what changes, we're going to go to the Forgery Challenge and see just how many Helixes I can get from a single run. Important thing to keep in mind as we get into the challenge, by the way, is that rewards preview and what you get from completing this challenge does not change between 70 and 80 in terms of what is shown through the rewards preview. When you go from 60 to 70, you do gain access to now the gold material of this specific skill enhancement. However, at 80, nothing else changes. It's exactly the same, and it is what it is. It's not like you're losing access to getting a Lento Helix. You still have a chance to get the Adagio Helix. There is virtually no difference. You're just a higher level. So let's see what you get. Let's take a look at exactly how much I gained from this though. Consume 40 wave plates. Oh, that feels okay, I guess. Okay, so for what it's worth, in this case, I did end up getting a purple alongside 5 of the Adagio Helixes and 7 of the Lento Helixes. Something that I do want to mention about skill enhancement materials and why they feel so bad to farm out is because traditionally in other games, especially games like Star Rail, if you don't end up getting a high tier, aka purple or legendary drop from a domain, in some cases they'll compensate you by giving you more of the rare or common level material, and that's kind of the way to bridge the gap. It doesn't feel quite as bad because although you didn't get an epic drop, you do gain a little bit more in terms of the rare drops to kind of compensate for the fact that you don't get an epic drop. WutheringWaves, you may end up receiving the same amount of rare or common drops, which feels really, really bad because you're gonna have to farm out these skill materials for a long time, and if there's no way to compensate for it, as you go further and further, Union level 50, 55, 60, 65, 70, there's a chance that you just get 5 drops and there's no compensation at all compared to if you were to get 1 purple or even a legendary drop. And now finally, let's take a look at the Tacet fields. To be clear, this is likely going to be one of the more important things to take a look at, see exactly what's changed compared to 40, 30, etc. And although we still have Union level 60 to worry about, let's see if getting Echo EXP from Union level 50 feels any better or worse. Let's get into it. Okay, so we've got 450 EXP, the Intimacy, the 5,000 shell credits, 4 gold, and only 3 premium sealed tubes. Okay, to be fair, getting 3 definitely feels better than getting 2 from before, but I do believe that you're actually able to get 4 of these premium sealed tubes at level 50. Hi guys, Future Kana here, and I just wanted to update you, chat, and past Kana with something that I discovered now, I guess, after the recording and moving back towards the video, and it's that a lot of the initial thoughts that I had when it came to the drops and the differences between Union level 40 and 50 were definitely justified and were a bit concerning at first. However, something that I noticed later and some later parting thoughts that I had kind of gathered as I began farming more and more in Union level 50 is that there are a couple significant changes. The first and pretty much the biggest change that I noticed, and I wasn't really able to make a bold claim on or know for sure until I did a bit more testing, was that as far as I can tell right now, the odds of you receiving a purple or epic drop from the forgery challenges is extremely high, if not guaranteed. Now, there isn't any data or necessarily anything I've seen so far to say that you are guaranteed this drop. However, it is worth mentioning because as you get later and later into the character building process, having this additional epic drop is very, very valuable. Something that I wanted to touch on a bit more that I didn't get to quite enough in the video, in my opinion, is that because you aren't compensated for when it comes to the forgery challenges, having any sort of way to guarantee that you get the epic level drop is extremely, extremely good and definitely worth mentioning. If you are going to be farming for characters in the future, you'd rather have a more balanced and fair experience when it comes to farming the skill enhancements. And thankfully, with WutheringWaves, that seems to be the case, at least right now. Now, before I leave this topic, and although I was kind of complimenting it beforehand, I do still want to say that you will end up needing something like 60 of the epic level drops when it comes to skill enhancements. And although you could reduce this amount depending on whether you need to upgrade the basics or whether you need to upgrade the intros, it's quite a lot of investment, and it is kind of concerning. I hope that maybe Kuro in the future addresses these, or hope that once I hit, I don't know, something like Union level 60, golds have like a 50-50 chance to drop. That would be terrific, but I'm not really banking on that, and hopefully there are events in the future or something that we get in the future similar to Honkai Star Rail's tier of dreams, where you're able to convert this additional currency into a malleable or versatile drop that you can use to upgrade any skill that you want. That was just my initial thoughts after a day of farming though. Again, I do actually think that Union level 50 was more of a breakpoint than I had initially thought. Again, it does kind of mark the change of, rather than just have the chance to get a gold, being guaranteed an epic level drop, especially when you're trying to farm out 60 of them to get your skill enhancements to level 80, especially when you're trying to upgrade your skill enhancements after level 60, is quite big. But at the end of it all, guys, that was everything that changed from Union level 40 to Union level 50. There are likely a couple things that I missed as well that are either not as relevant or not as important, just because you're not really going to be farming it, or you need to be pre-farming other things if you want to upgrade your characters. Winding down and kind of compiling all my thoughts about what happened today, it was to be expected. Union level 50 is no guaranteed, oh wow, everyone's gonna get a super significant increase, because that's not how Union levels work. But some of the increased drop rates, especially with the Ascension materials and the Tacet fields, feel a little bit better, but I would argue that definitely the worst feeling thing in between Union level increases is definitely going to be the skill material field. That being said though, guys, that's everything that changed. I hope you guys enjoyed. In any case, if you guys enjoyed today's video, if you learned something, make sure to like, comment, turn on the notification bell, and subscribe. Thank you again for watching, everyone. Sand Haul video out soon. Sorry, I've been working on that. I know a lot of you guys voted on that for the last poll. I appreciate everyone who voted and commented and has been supporting all the content. I'll see you guys all in the next one. Stay safe, stay healthy. Good night. YouTube definitely thinks you would like this video, so you should click on it. I also think you would like this video. If you want to vibe out at the end of this video, feel free to do so, but you know what? At the end of it, before it hits the max length of the video, you should click on the video. Okay, click on this one. It's recommended for you. It'll be good for you if you click on it. All right, see ya.